So the story takes us to the summer of 2021 at Presque Isle State Park in Erie, Pennsylvania, where a park ranger had a late-night encounter that dredged up an old urban legend locals had thought died back in the late 1980s. Ranger Alex had worked the peninsula for 6 years. His shifts rotated. He never minded the late patrols. Summer nights at Presque Isle are usually calm, the air heavy with lake mist, waves hitting the shoreline with a dull crash. Most calls are routine, nothing unusual. But this night was different. At around 1:30 in the morning, Alex parked his truck near Beach 6 to check a report of a boat light offshore. He grabbed his flashlight and stepped onto the sand and scanned the horizon. The lake was calm. No boats, no lantern glow, just the endless black sheet of water stretching towards Canada. Then he heard it, a low, slapping sound, like something heavy hitting wet sand. And at first he thought it was a fish washed ashore. But when he swept a beam across the beach, he froze. Something was crawling out of the water. He described it later as being about the size of a man but hunched, moving with an awkward, dragging gait. Its skin was covered in algae, mostly translucent green, and the beam slick with water. He couldn't make out details of its face, only that it turned towards him with a kind of strange motion. Alex shouted at it, "Park Ranger!" But the thing just paused, then lurched back into the surf, vanishing under the black water in seconds. When backup arrived 20 minutes later, there was nothing, just wet sand and deep drag marks leading into the lake. Now, here's where this starts to get really strange. One of the old rangers, someone who'd been around since the 80s, pulled Alex aside. He told him about a story that circulated then, an urban legend from 1983. Two locals, a couple parked near the beach after hours, claimed to saw a fish-like creature crawl out of the surf. They described the same slick, greenish, slimy skin, the same dragging movements. It looked half human, half something else. Back then, people laughed it off as kids just making up stories. But now Alex had seen the same thing, decades later in the same stretch of shoreline. He filed his report, and officially it went down as unverified. Unofficially, the rangers all started warning each other not to linger alone on Beach 6 after dark. Alex never forgot the way it looked back at him that night. The eyes, he swore, didn't look like any animal he had ever seen at the park before. And some urban legends, they just don't want to die.